behind. Like that's what I want to say.
That first year LeBron was with the Lakers was your last year there. And from the get-go, even going back to the summer when LeBron signed, like it was like a really mismatched group in terms of skill sets, personalities. And then you guys, meaning you, Kuz, Zoe, Josh Hart, like your guys' names were in trade rumors constantly that whole season. Magic Johnson came and talked to y'all. I think it was right before we played you guys actually in Philly. He came on the road trip to tell you grow up, whatever. I want to hear what he said to you, but like how difficult? Because you kind of said it earlier. You were like, yeah, I'm finally comfortable now. You know, even last year, like you weren't comfortable. It was a new coach. It was a new city. You're in a contract year. There's no comfort in that. You know, and so you're finally comfortable now. That last year in LA, how strange was that season?
Well, granted, I haven't been in the league long, but I just felt like things were just not normal. Like every day, it wasn't like I would hear former players from the Lakers be like, "This is not how things are supposed to go." You're going to see how organization is supposed to be ran. But for me, like I had one game where I think I let like the outside get to me because it's a lot. It's a lot. Like I never like I never let outside noise or anything get to me because I'm so prepared for everything. But it was one game where I was like this is more than basketball. Like this this is an action movie that we're in right now. Like everybody is posing for the camera. Everybody know what the cameras are. Just everything. So it was important for me to like block out like all the negativity, everything that's not going into the work of basketball. And it was tough for me, but I had like my on court coach was Brian Keith. So he kept me straight and he gave me different advice and he kept me in the gym like every day, every morning. He gave me a routine of when to eat and everything. So I just dived deep into that. I know other guys around me, it killed them. Like it killed them. Like every day when you wake up and you see a name on Twitter, and the guys around me, they love Twitter. They love like they love searching, putting in their name. They love hitting the search bar and putting in their name. And to see that, we come to the gym, we come to the practice facility, and the energy is totally off. Energy totally off. It doesn't seem like nobody wants to work, anything. So it was a whirlwind for sure.
When you said one game it got to you, what do you mean by that? What do you mean? Like you didn't want to play that night, or you had a bad game, or you had a blow up in the game, or you yelled at the teammate? Like, what do you mean? Like the noise got to you one game?
Well, if we're going that far, I think that whole year I was yelling at teammates, I was yelling at coaches, I was getting a little outside of myself, and I felt some things building up. You know, when you get to the point where you build it up and you're just gonna let everything out, and like it's just everything of the outside noise, everything of blah 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 this or whatever it was. I let it affect me at some point instead of actually playing the basketball game because I knew a lot of things in Lakerland wasn't right. To be honest, and I felt that. So I could have took it negative. Some days I was very negative, but most of the days I was just trying to be positive and work on myself. That was the point where like I'm always like about everybody else and trying to make sure everybody was good. That was the point of time where I had to take some self care and be like, I gotta make sure I'm straight for the rest of my career.
No, I get it, man. I get it. And I can attest to the fact that you are a great teammate. And other than, I always say everybody's allowed 2 blowups per year. Everybody. Now, they don't have to necessarily be public blowups. They can be in practice, or they can be after a practice in the locker room. Like, everybody's got to actually let off some steam at some point. It's actually, I think it's healthy if that happens. How did you find out when the trade went through? How did you find out that you were getting traded? Were you kind of knew it was happening, and what was your reaction?
Well, but during the season, I kind of knew how it was going to happen eventually, but I didn't know when it was going to happen. My agent had called me maybe 2 days before it happened. He said he thinks something going on, and I could be traded any minute now. So like it was one morning I had just woke up, um, and my agent had called me and said he thinks something going on, and he think I may get traded in the next like 20 minutes. And I hung up the phone, and I just went and laid down, and like 5 minutes later he called me back, and he was like, he just got traded to New Orleans. Alonzo called me. I think Josh Hart called me, and they were all positive. Like they were like let's do it. Let's go to New Orleans and let's make something out of it. So I was prepared for it. It wasn't really new to me.
And were you excited?
Um,
In the most BI can be excited.
I was excited for change for sure. Leaving LA, I was basketball. I'm not so sure I was excited to leave Los Angeles, but I know I needed change. And like you said, you don't know like what you're in until you're out of it. I I haven't went out since I've been to New Orleans. I would go out sometimes in LA like more than I should. But since I've been here, I've been focused on everything that I need to do. And even being focused, I notice sometimes that I can be even more focused and locking in on some of the work that I should do outside of the basketball game, whether it's me getting on the computer looking up different things. And it's just put me in a different mindset. So I'm definitely happy for the change.
It does seem like between you and Zoe and Zion, and we've talked about this, I think, with all of them kind of individually, you guys have a lot of young guys who have this similar level of focus. It's guys that like have been through a lot at a young age in terms of the press and all the kind of BS and everything like that, and now are kind of just shutting it all out and just being like, it's just basketball, that's it. Do you feel like even with just those two guys, you have some sort of like commonality of like shared experience?
Kind of in the sport in a way, but those guys have like been through far more media than even me. Like Zion gets it like every single day, and Zoe gets it even the same. So I feel like I'm in the same position, but I like the way those guys handle it themselves. They come in the gym. Zoe's kind of like me. He doesn't say a lot, but he comes in and he tries to get his work done. And Zion, he does the exact thing. Like I never see him like um, bash the media or do something unordinary. Like he's just in there working on his game and just trying to get better as he's being young.
I think there's definitely a similarity between the three of you guys. This is just an observation I have, is different generation. You guys have to deal with way more than I had to deal with ever. I mean, in terms of the social media stuff, traditional media, day to day, just attention. And you're all three of you guys are homebodies. You're all homebodies. And, like Zoe's not out there. Zion's not out there. Somebody was talking about this with me the other day. Zion's just like, I just want to go home after practice. Like, I think there's a comfort level, and then there's an uncomfortability in being out there, and you guys all share that. Some people are very comfortable being out there. You've had teammates that are comfortable, and that's not a knock on any of your teammates that you've had, maybe in LA, that are comfortable being out there. But the commonality I see with the three of you guys is like, you love basketball, and that's first. Not every young guy I see now, and this was true of my generation too, not every young guy I see now, they love basketball first. They love what comes with basketball, and then they love basketball. Does that make sense? Am I off on that?
you're on point, like exactly, like I yeah, and I think it comes with being young, but even older like guys that's older than me do the same thing. Like they get so they like the lifestyle, and they don't notice what made the lifestyle. Like the basketball part is what got us all here. Like if it wasn't for the basketball part, we probably wouldn't know any. Nobody would probably know you. So the basketball part is what's going to keep everyone in the loop. So if we do something outside of the basketball part, then first of all we're fucking ourselves because we won't reach our potential or even better than our potential. And second, it's just not right. I mean, we have to put the work first before we do anything. We celebrate the work because we put so much into it. But if we're celebrating and then coming in and playing basketball, then we're probably not the best on that day. So that's just how I think about it.
I like that phrase. Celebrate the work. I think that's important. We need to do more of that in our league. I really mean that. We need to celebrate the work, celebrate the grind a little bit more. I think you're someone that I know finds joy in the grind, and one of the things in the 2 years I've known you is that you're always trying to get better, and a big transformation or adjustment that you made from year 3 to last year was your 3-point shooting, not just in your percentage but in your volume. When did you sort of make that decision? Okay, I need to shoot more threes and I need to get better. And then as sort of a secondary part of that question is just, can you just talk about Fred Vinson, our shooting coach, guy you work with and that Lonzo works with on a daily basis, and how great he is?
Yep. Well, I think for me, when I think about the volume of shooting the 3-pointer, I think it comes back from high school. I shot the 3 in high school a lot, and of course, coming to the college and going into the NBA, like the line is way further than I shot in high school. So when I got when I got to the NBA my first year, like my shot went from right in front of my face to behind my head. So like I had to sling it to the rim, and like my percentages were terrible. I felt like I didn't know how to shoot anymore. I felt like I didn't know how. The only way that I was gonna score is if I went to the basket, or if I shot the pull up in the mid range, because I could not shoot the 3 ball. So every year I just try to do some mechanics. I try to change my mechanics, try to figure out a easier way to shoot the 3 ball, and some different guys helped me out. It wasn't consistent enough for me. I tried a few different ways, and when I got to New Orleans, Fred was like the first person I met when I stepped on the floor. And first thing he told me is that, man, you gotta shoot more threes. And in my head, I'm like, well, fuck, I don't even know how to. I don't even know how to. I got a bad percentage. I know I'm gonna have a bad percentage. So I told him like I used to shoot threes all the time in high school. And he told me he wanted to see my form. We worked on the mechanics of it, and every day. So when I came here, I was still hurt, so I just had surgery on my shoulder. So I really only had a month to work out before last season, and every single day I just met up with Fred, and he was just critiquing me, and I went back home and he would send me film on the iPad, and I just look at how I was shooting it the day before, just try to go back and mimic it and see everything that I felt while I was doing it, and I just kept coming back to the gym. I seen the progress. Some days it'd be bad days, but I will understand like exactly why I missed the shot, and I just keep coming back. And Fred, he made my 3-pointer comfortable. Like he even last year he wanted me to shoot even more threes. And coming into this year, I was like comfortable and even more confident. So every time we step on the floor, if it's a tune up or whatever it is, like I'm prepared for it. And now at this point I want to do like everything perfect for Fred. I want him to know that I'm like like I'm catching the ball here, Fred. I'm following through everything. So like it keeps me he keeps me sharp. Like he's helped go out a lot. He's transformed his shot, and he's more confident and comfortable in shooting the basketball. So he's been like a really good help.
Zoe is actually a great shooter. I don't think enough people understand this. You know, I think it was from late December to when the season ended in March. So that's like a good 2.5 month sample size. Zoe shot 42% from three on a high volume and had multiple games where he hit 6, 7 threes. What Fred has done is amazing. And like I always say this about coaches like Fred. Fred just likes being in the gym with us. Like Fred likes to work. Like those are the people I want to work with. Like Fred doesn't care. Like Fred will get some love because we mentioned him on the podcast. We talk about it, but like he doesn't care about this. He loves the game and he loves the work. And watching you and Zoe shoot with him every day, it's awesome. Here's a question I have. You said you want every shot to be perfect for Fred. Are you like in a game? Are you going through like Fred's checklist for you as you shoot? Like you don't have time to do that in the game, do you?
Not in the game. So in the game, like it's easier for me because I feel like I've done the mechanics on this and I've went through this already. So for me, so when I'm in game speed, I feel like it's all gonna flow. Like as soon as I get in the game speed, I know elbow to the basket and two finger follow through or whatever it is. So I've already got the shot. I don't know how many times. So when I go to game speed, I'm like, I got this rhythm. I know my rhythm set to get into this shot, and all the mechanics are good. So I feel good about this.
Yeah, the moment that you realized you were getting a 5-year max, what was your emotion? Like, what did that mean to you?
You know, JJ, like it still hasn't hit me yet. Like it still hasn't hit me. Like my emotions was like the day that I got the contract was like one of my friends' birthday. So I was more like, oh, it's her birthday. I got to do everything for her today. Blah blah blah. And like that's just motivation. That's just like that's the celebrating of work. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's the reward that you get from just working, and I understand that. But for me, I've always just thought like being even killed. I gotta be the same person no matter what, and I gotta move on from that because I know this is a big contract, and I know I'm blessed for it, and I gotta celebrate. But it's things that like I want to achieve that are at the like maybe at the end of my life or at the end of my career that I can be like I can actually smile and be happy because this is the list of things that I went through and this is what I got from it. And maybe sooner or later I'll celebrate and smile, but I can't. I'm in a moment right now, and I want bigger and better. So I don't know how to celebrate. Like, I don't know how to just sit back and smile and be like, damn, this is nice. I just like, keep going.
Looking back at the draft, the 2016 draft, was looking at it earlier today. We're talking about it before you got on. There's a lot of really good players in that draft. And it's sort of amazing. Obviously, Ben